teaching. Dr. Dias has worked for more than 15 years at UNASP, the Adventist University in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and is currently working as an associate mission director in New Delhi. Dr. Kumar is also, as I said, in India, in Pune, where he is working at Spicer Adventist University. We really appreciate your willingness to be part of this conference with a presentation that is entitled "More Than Dreams: Mission Among the Hindus." So, without further introduction, I would like to also briefly refer to the rest of the afternoon. We have 3 more presentations in this afternoon, and the next presentation by Dr. Guma and then Dr. Panachowski at 3 o'clock. We will now start with the presentation of Dr. Kumar and Dr. Dias.
Greetings to all the attendees of the Fifth Adventist University of Africa Seminary Conference. My name is Marcelo Dias, and my friend Santosh Kumar is also presenting this paper. Our presentation is entitled "More Than Dreams: God's Mission Among Hindus." We'd like to start with the introduction. And here are a few points. First of all, dreams and visions are commonly observed in diverse cultural and religious contexts. This also remains true in conjunction with the dreams interpretations. It is evident from their frequent appearances in various biblical texts that dreams and visions have consistently played a significant role in Christian history. However, Wagner observed that early missionaries encountered challenges in comprehending and engaging with this particular facet of people's belief systems. Point number 4, more recently, studies have researched the current widespread nature of the life-changing experiences of Muslims who saw Jesus Christ in a dream or vision. Of course, the question arises as to why the role of dreams is often ignored in the case of Hindu conversion.
Good afternoon to all. So the objective of this presentation is to comprehend the dreams of Jesus among Hindus. After bibliographical research on dreams and their significance in Hinduism, the focus will be on the accounts of dreams about Jesus found in the academic literature. The last part encompasses a first-person account of a Hindu background and his dream experience. So the conclusion establishes that dreams and visions continues to be tools of God's self-revelation and to draw people to him. Insights also help frontline missionaries to engage in the Hindu world and motivate others to conduct further research on this subject. So this presentation covers few questions, and these are the questions that we would like to address during our presentation. Question number 1 is, does God speak through dreams and visions? 2, does God speak only to his people or believers? Number 3, how do different cultures view their dreams and visions? Number 4, what challenges are related to understanding, accepting, and interpreting dreams? Number 5, does God reveal himself or communicate with Hindus through dreams and visions? And number 6, how do we integrate the religious experience of a Hindu dream, with faith in Jesus Christ?
As a background to our discussion, we would like to relate dreams, culture, and religion. So first of all, we can state that everyone dreams. Therefore, dreams and visions are observed in almost every cultural and religious tradition. Dreams express complex moments of encounter and manifestation that surpass the constraints of purely rational thought. Dreams are interrelated with culture. Culture is shaped by dream experiences, and dreams are interpreted according to culture. Therefore, culture supplied the template for dream imagery, interpretation, and expression. Dreams confirm, modify, or extend cultural models of reality. Anthropologists have connected dreams to the understanding of reality, sense of self and identity, and understanding of time in different peoples, often non-Western groups. In terms of religion, dreams and visions are often understood as granting direct access to supernatural agents, especially ancestral spirits. Similarly, dreams are seen as an important source of divine revelation in all world religions. In summary, dreaming has always been regarded as a religious phenomenon. In Christianity, more specifically, it is observed that dreams and visions represent a valid means of receiving divine revelation. That's part of the Christian tradition. In the Bible, 1/3 of its content is basically visions and dreams. One can find the experience of dreaming almost in every part of the Bible. Therefore, being a part of this is part of God's interaction with his people according to the Christian understanding. This happened in one way before sin, another way after sin, but definitely both in the Old Testament and New Testament, we find biblical narratives of visions, dreams, and angelic appearances. If we talk about the Muslim world now, we'll find that dreams are also part of the Muslim faith. In their case, they consider it to be a kind of a spiritual perception. Besides the Quranic mention of dreams of Joseph and Abraham, it also mentions Prophet Muhammad dreaming, which is very important for them. There are two other comments about dreams found in the Hadiths that are often mentioned in the literature. One records the following words of the Prophet: a good dream vision of a pious man is a 46th part of prophecy, while the other says a good vision is from Allah and a bad dream is from Satan. Therefore, in the Muslim community, it is important to pay attention to dreams, especially those about Prophet Muhammad himself, and even more important, the interpretation of those dreams. In general, the observation is that dreams and visions are the first step in the Muslims' journey to faith in Jesus Christ. It was already many years ago that Woodbury, in his research, found out that the dreams have been instrumental in the decision of approximately 40% of Muslims who convert to Christianity, with empirical feedback suggesting that the actual rate of key dreams was really more like 70%. So they have been a big part of those experiences. Over the last 2 decades, one objective study has been Muslims who have received those dreams about visions. And according to a more recent research, a study of 750 Muslims who accepted Jesus, the surprising reason behind those experiences were their dreams that they believe were from God. One of the most significant studies published by Garrison, 2014, concluded based on his interview of more than 1,000 Muslims who became followers of Christ that in the first 12 years of the 21st century, there had been at least 60 movements of Muslim background believers, which was much more than during the previous 1,400 years. Dreams and visions are on his list of bridges that God has been using to reveal himself to Muslims. So how about dreams among Hindus? Although some have raised that possibility of Hindus also having dreams about Jesus, only a few scholars have engaged in this phenomenon. And that's what we'd like to explore in the next part of our presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Marcelo. So before we go into the next segment of our presentation, the first thing that we need to establish is that Hindus and Hinduism cannot be just explained in one term. The reason is that there is no established religion such as Hinduism. India comprises diverse ways of life, rituals, and practices, and each culture has its own deities. So we must understand that it is the Western world that has labeled the inhabitants of this subcontinent as Hindu and brought them all under one umbrella on a fewer grounds, such as idol worshippers, somewhat similar rituals, practices, etc. However, this must not be understood as a single religion. So I would rather call Hinduism as a banyan tree, one root and many branches. So, dreams and Hindus, we need to understand that dreams, swapna, and vision is darshana in Hinduism, and they are very profound in the literature. Dreams and visions play an important role in this religion. For example, for Hindus, dreams and visions are for many reasons. It can be for divine communication, for personal spiritual growth, for mystical experiences, for some symbolic experiences, and the Puranas and the other scriptures also profoundly talks about of dreams and visions. Also about deity worship. There have been encounters of people with their deities on worshipping a certain deity, and also yoga and meditation that also connects people to the divine being through dreams and visions. Well, we want to look into a case study, and we thought of sharing my story. And so I was baptized in 2007, and it took me 11 years to even speak about my dream experiences publicly to people. So only in 2018 was the first time when I could speak about my dreams. So I had a series of dreams for 3 weeks in the month of September 2007. So these dreams were too long, so I will not be covering all those. But I wanted to mention that all these long dreams were only for a minute or two. So when I woke up, I realized that I have only slept for a minute or two. So quickly, one of the most frequent dreams that I always had, when I was not a Christian, was that I saw myself teaching a group of people from the Bible. Now, last night I thought of asking the AI to visualize it for me. So these are the pictures that I'm about to share with you, and I tried my best to keep it as close to my dream. So I often saw myself in this position, teaching the Bible, and also while I was teaching, I always saw an angel in the air, not touching the ground, by my side. Another dream is where I saw a huge staircase reaching towards sky, and the stairs are transparent, and I can see water creatures inside. It's like aquarium, I see myself carrying a sack bag, and I'm carrying this bag, and I'm filling it with fish that I have been picking. Um, Again, I see a huge, scary snake. I tried my best to go close, and this is one of the really closest picture that I can bring in, because this is exactly how I saw in my dream. And this huge snake was trying to attack me, and then I'm fighting, and there were three kids. I have no idea, but and I'm just sharing so that we understand of the process that I went through through a dream to Christ. So well, I saw that I'm fighting, and then these three small kids. I don't know why they look like Africans, but that's the truth. That's how I saw. So they helped me in fighting with this big snake, and then I saw a lady in white. I saw a lady in very white, pure white cloth, sari or cloth, I don't know. And she was standing beyond many banyan trees. And she called me and asked me to come to the Father and listen to him. And this is one of the dreams that I frequently encountered. Apart from this, I'm sure that Ellen White. Well, here's a picture of Ellen White, and I saw Ellen G. White in my dream way before I knew anything about Adventism. Especially this picture is very important. I saw her alive on her chair teaching the Bible, and I've never had seen this picture before. Only when I came to Spicer College to study, I first saw this picture. So all of these are so important for me, because this wonderful experiences of going through a series of dreams ultimately led me to be baptized on in the next month, October 22, 2007. I strongly believe, I think God is communicating with people because God has a purpose to fulfill through humankind, and therefore I think there are so many reasons that God wants to communicate with us. A natural question that may arise as to what the purpose of God-given dreams and visions is, especially to those who are not God's appointed prophets. As Bruce Bauer points out in the Bible, God also sent those messages, his messages, to people who are often agnostic and antagonistic towards the word of God and the Christian faith. So this is very clear that the Bible has a series of events where God communicated with non-believers, revealing himself and warning them. Abimelech's a warning dream where God told Abimelech to stay away from Sarah, do not go close to him. Laban's a warning dream where God told Laban to stay away from Jacob and don't disturb him, don't say anything to him. And then Pharaoh's cow and grain dream. Then Nebuchadnezzar's dream. They were not believers. So Nebuchadnezzar had two dreams. First dream about this enormous structure made up of various materials, and of course about his kingdom and all of that. And the other dream where he saw a huge, magnificent tree coming down. So that, of course, these dreams represents Nebuchadnezzar's downfall. So God has been talking to people. Pilate's wife, not to forget, God gave the information to Pilate's wife so that she knows that Jesus is innocent. Seeing this, Bauer suggests several principles that we can extract, especially from here from the passage in the book of Job. And this really leads us to understand dreams and visions given to people of different kind, believers and non-believers, to make a few important changes in life. And Bauer puts it together in 4 different objectives. Number 1, to help people turn from doing wrong. Number 2, to keep people from pride. Number 3, to protect people from the grave, pointing them in the right direction. And 4, to protect people from death. Peter Wagner pointed out that early missionaries were not able to relate to that aspect of people's worldview. So understanding that those movements of God are in line with its missionary purposes seem of utmost importance to Christian missionaries today.
So as we come to our conclusion, we can go back to those questions that we presented in the beginning and think of some initial considerations. For example, number 1, does God speak through dreams and visions? I think if we're consistent with our observations and research, we have to say, yes, God does speak through dreams and visions. Number 2, does God speak only to his people, to believers? I think both from the past, from the Bible, and from current observation, we see that God is not restricting himself to only those who are believers. He's also speaking to the others. Number 3, how do different cultures view their dreams and visions? And first of all, we have to say that dreams are part of every culture and every world religion. Of course, they will have different understandings in their own particular context. Number 4, what challenges are related to understanding, accepting, and interpreting dreams? That is a big challenge in the sense that we have to understand, first of all, how they understand themselves, those dreams, according to their own tradition. And then, of course, there will be some interaction with our understanding, or biblical understanding about dreams. But definitely we should develop an attitude that will be open to accepting those God-given dreams. Number 5, does God reveal himself or communicate with Hindus through dreams and visions? And both from literature review, which is included in our paper, written paper, and but primarily now with the testimony, with this story, the case study by Dr. Santosh. This is a powerful example of how God is, yes, he is communicating with Hindus through dreams and visions even today. Number 6, how do we integrate the religious experience of a Hindu dream with faith in Jesus Christ? And of course, that's where we all have to develop and grow and learn from these experiences. So just as a summary, number 1, the primary missiological understanding is that God takes the initiative in his mission and employs any means needed to reach the unreached. And this is an important reminder for all missiologists. This is a very basic understanding about Missio Dei. Believers are promised the guidance of the Holy Spirit who gives discernment. Number 2, more specifically about the Hindu world, dreams are part of the Hindu worldview. For them, it is already there. So we just need to be able to interact with what they understand and how they experience it, and be available, be by their side when that experience is happening. Number 4, missiologists should investigate the reality of Hindu background believers to better understand how God is calling them through dreams and visions. And our observation is that a lot more scholarship has been dedicated to analyzing this phenomenon among Muslims, and not so much about Hindus, but perhaps we should develop a better understanding of what's happening among Hindu background believers, and also just Hindus in general. Number 5, mission leaders should instruct frontline workers to be aware of that reality, so that as they connect with people, they will be sensitive and maybe even praying for that kind of experience. Number 6, it is time for missionaries to pay attention to that reality and position themselves in ways that they can build bridges with those who are receiving those dreams.
Adding to that those conclusions, we must also accept the fact that God is still speaking through dreams and visions with people from all groups and nations. The church then must accept and appreciate discussions on dreams and visions. The church also must often be praying for people, Hindus, Muslims, Sikh, Buddhists, and people from all groups to have an encounter with God. And number 4, we Christians need to be open-minded, to accept people who expresses their encounter with God through dreams instead of being skeptic or judgmental about it. Thank you so much for this opportunity for presenting.
I would like to thank Dr. Kumar and Dr. Dias for this fine presentation. I'm also looking at the time. It's now, we only have 3 minutes left, and that doesn't allow us for question and answer. Well, we have an option that was already mentioned earlier, that at 6 o'clock we have an opportunity to ask questions. 6 p.m. Nairobi time, we have an opportunity to be in dialogue with the presenters of today, and you would then be able to engage with Dr. Dias and Dr. Kumar if they would be available at that time. Of course, there's a time difference. I'm wondering, is it a 4-hour time difference with Nairobi?
2.5.
2.5.
4 hours. Dr. Dias?
2.5.
2.5. Okay, so that is better. So if that would be fine with you, I would like to suggest that, because we will have a hard break at 2:30, and the audience will hear nothing of our discussion. Yeah, so I would like to thank both of you for this fine presentation. I look forward to further discussion tonight at 6 p.m. in the lounge. Thank you. And now I would like to transition. This presentation will finish. I will log into the new presentation of Dr. Oguma, and we'll introduce Dr. Oguma there. Thank you.